Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be looking at SIMnet Access Pause and Practice 2-3. For this, you will need the Access Pause and Practice 2-2, the completed file, which I have here. And you will also need an Excel file, service history data file, which I'm clicking here and downloading it. If you can see if it downloads to the downloads folder in my computer. So you can download it and make sure you're able to locate the file. Let's start with the Access. So we're going to first start with this and we're going to save it as your initials PPA2-3. Okay, so we're going to save as, make sure the save database is clicked, then we're going to say 2-3. Okay, I'm going to save it to my desktop, so I have it here. Enable content, so make sure that enable content is there. Let's go to enable content warning has been enabled. Next we go to click table design button in the create tab. We click on this and then we go to table design. Okay, so we are going to open a new table in design view. Okay, so we are creating a new table and here we are going to enter the following details. Okay, so we are going to keep entering all the data as per this number 5. Okay, so we're going to start with service ID in the field name instead of so we're going to start with service ID okay, the field name property box in the first row, and then in the data type we're going to create short text. Okay, the short text, and then type unique ID number for the service request. So that's the description, unique ID number for the service request. Okay, and then click the primary key button, which is here. So we're going to select this service key as the primary key. Click on this. So we've created the primary key as the service ID for the service ID field name. Now we're going to continue entering all these data. We're going to create all these fields and data types here one by one, and I'm going to create all of that now. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. I have entered all the field names and the data type as per this table. It just took some time to enter, so you will also have to enter this. You may not be able to copy and paste. Okay, now let's save this table as service history. So you can either click save here or you could right click and save. Either way you could click and name the table as service history. Okay, so we've completed task 6 now. Okay, now let's set the field properties for service history table. Now click on the row selector of the service ID field. Service ID field is this. So when you go to this, you see a small arrow. That's the row selector. You can click on the row selector. It selects the row. And then you type 6 in the field size. So we go to field size and you're going to change it to 6. And then set required property as yes. So go back to the required property. By default, it is yes. If it is a no, please change it to yes. And then click row selector. Next one is make sure that this required is yes. And then we go to click the row selector on the service date field. Service date field, select the row by using the row selector. Continue changing the fields as per the information. Okay, so format should be general date. For service date, service format is general date, and then required yes. See here, there is the required is no, we got to change it to yes. And then we're going to change each and every one service type as per this table. Okay, so I have changed service type to field size 15 as per this table and required to yes, and then description to 255 and required to yes. I'm just changing each one of them. Performed by the field size is 3 and then required is yes. So I'm just changing all as per the table. And then FK equipment ID selected 5. The field size is 5 and required from no, change it to yes. And then you have total cost, which is here. I go and select currency and required from no to yes. So I've completed task 7. Please save your table from time to time. We'll go to the next step. Okay. Now we go to task 8. We're going to modify the service type combo box here. Service type, select that, and then data type, click the arrow next to it and then select the lookup wizard. We're going to give some choices for this. So you're going to say, I will select the radio button, I will enter the values, or I will type the values I want. Click next. And in the first cell, we're going to type maintenance. Okay. Second one, we're going to type repair. Third one, we're going to type inspection. Click next and then click finish. Okay, that's the end of task thing. Save and close the table. Let's save it and close the table. Now we have two tables here, equipment, which was already in there, and then now we have a service history table that was created. Let's go to the next task. Okay, now to task 10, create a relationship between the equipment and the service history table. So as I told you, we have already created equipment. Now we created service history, and where we're going to create a relationship. So let's go to database tools. Click on that. You see relationships. So click on relationships. Now the list of all the tables come up. So we got to add the tables for which we want to create a relationship. So we're going to add both the tables, equipment and service history, and we're going to close this. Okay. Now we're going to drag the equipment ID. So because the equipment ID and the FKE equipment ID should match. So we're going to drag this and to let it go on this, so to create a relationship. There you go. So make sure that this and this have been matched, and then we click create. So if you click create, you could click on the release pointer. Now verify the field names are displayed correct. If necessary, click down, drop down. You could go correct it from each table. If the spelling mistake or there is an error, correct it and make sure that both the fields are matching to one-on-one. Okay, right. Next, we go on to enforce referral integrity. We're going to make sure that this is clicked, and then we are also going to say cascade updated related fields, and we'll also check the cascade delete record fields also. Okay, and then we're going to click on create. Now this will actually create, yes, so when you click create, a relationship gets created between the equipment ID and the FK ID. Okay, now you can close the relationship table, save it, make sure a relationship is saved, and then close the relationship. If you want to see what are the various relationships, you can go click on relationship. You'll be able to see the relationship in between different tables in the database. Okay. Okay. Next, let's go to the importing data from a service history table. So launch external data. So we're going to make sure that we are in the service history table. So we're going to import data from the Excel file that we downloaded. There is an Excel file at the top of your document here, which you should have downloaded. When you click on this, it downloads to the download file. Now let me just open it and check if it is working. I'm just opening Microsoft Excel file that I just downloaded. Here you go. I have the file, so I need to make sure that I'm importing all the data from this table into make sure it's enable editing. It can be open or it may not be open. It's okay. Okay. Now let's go to how to import data. We are in task. We're going all the way down to task 11. Okay, which is here, importing data from a service history table. Launch click external data, and then you go to external data, and you're going to be creating. Now we just have to close the relationship. Okay, right. Let's go to new source data from file. We are importing it from an Excel file. Now you have to go and locate that file which I have downloaded. It's normally in the service history data file. Click open. And then you need to say you're not importing it to a new table, but we are appending it or adding it to service history table. Make sure you select the correct table, service history table, click OK. Okay, so it says import the data sheet plus sign, and then you click on open the equipment table in the data sheet view. Okay, so we are going to import, and you could click hold on 1 second. Let's just go back. Make sure that this data is open in the datasheet view. Yes. And then we're going to click the plus sign in the equipment ID. Let's import the data now. From new data source file Excel, we are going to append or add import it to service history file, and go locate the file, which is service history file. Click open. Make sure the correct table is mentioned to which you're importing the data. Click OK. Yes, the table is open, so you might have to close that and just click finish and click close. There you go. Now if you open the service history file, you will see that all the data has been saved to service history file. Okay. All right. Next, let's prepare and print equipment table. Let's go to verify the equipment table is selected in the navigation pane. Okay, now the service history is open. Let's close this. We are going to the next task, prepare to print the equipment table. Verify the equipment table is selected in the navigation pane. Click print button. So you got to go to file tab, click on print, and then you might have to click on print preview, and this shows you how the page might print. Okay, so we're going to go to the print preview tab and print layout. Okay, which is print preview tab and layout, which is here. Okay, now this is the print preview. See, task C is click the landscape button, which is here. This will change this portrait into landscape. Now, if you see here, so we are able to get more data. Click on margins button, which is here, the margins button, and select normal. Okay, so select normal, and depending on that, you will have more space. That's what it means. Okay, and then let's go to the next task, which is click close print preview, which is here. Click close print preview. You don't have to print it. It's just to show you how to print. But if you want to print it, you just click print. It'll automatically, if you have a printer attached to your computer, it'll automatically print. But now we are not printing it. So let's just close print and save your file, meaning file, save as, and make sure the whole saved database is saved, because you have more than one table. You want to make sure just all the whole database is saved. Save as, and then when you click the file tab, click the compact. If there is a repair button needed or enable button, you can just click the save button. If you want to change the database name, you can change it to compact and repair database button if you want. Okay, you could go and save as, and then you could say save database as. When the name comes up, instead of this, you could say file tab, click the file tab, or in the info button, sorry, you could click the file tab, and in the info button, you could click compact and repair database if you want. Click on this. It'll automatically repair any databases if you want, and then save your file. Okay, close the file now, and that's the end of this Pause and Practice 2-3 for Access. Thank you.